Welcome everybody, hope you're having a great night. We are currently just going to promote really quick and then go from there. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed and followed. Really appreciate every one of you. And for that, what I'm going to end up having to do eventually is figure out what I could actually do to give back to you guys. One thing I do want to try to do is make up some decal stickers, like so you can put on like your vehicle or some shit, or like anything, and it would be like weatherproof for up to a couple of years or something like that. You know, it could be like 3 years worth of like rain and abuse. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's one thing I'm thinking about, and that'd be pretty cool to do. So, just food for thought. So give me one moment and we will be finished with this, alright? Alright, welcome everybody. Alrighty everybody, and we are good to go. Hope you're having a great night. Let us do this now. I've seen that shit. Yep. We are ready to get going. That sucks, man. None of your business is, No, you're not gonna get banned, but you get locked on the account for a day and a half. That's what basically just happened, so... Damn. That sucks. Yeah, so we went out tonight and went to a rave, saw Vengent. Uh, that was fucking great. I absolutely loved hanging out there and meeting everybody. That was a really great night. Like really, really great night. Even though it was like 2 hours, 3 hours, or something like that. We were there until yeah, it was like 3 hours. Not even. Not even. Pretty interesting night. Not gonna lie. All in all, it was a very interesting night. Let's see what else we can put on. Um mm,
There's some pretty big reveals with this one, so we'll go ahead and we'll watch it. I didn't know why it got so popular or what it was, but we're going to take a look at it.
Tonight, our exclusive look into Doge. Elon Musk was nice enough to invite us into the Eisenhower building last night to sit in on his weekly 10 p.m. Doge meeting. Yeah, they usually meet at 10 o'clock. I'm almost in bed.
Why is this surprising? Like, yeah, these are gamer hours. 10 o'clock is like 3 p.m.
We met the whole crew, even Big Balls, and they showed us how Doge really gets done. We sat back, listened, and we learned a lot, and we hope you do too. Here's part one of our exclusive interview. Elon, thank you so much for bringing us into the meeting here. I'm going to do something no anchor ever does. I'm not going to talk.
What?
For as long as possible.
You're talking right now.
I'm going to let you run your meeting, and then I'll interrupt when I'm bored. So take it away.
Okay.
Like a board meeting.
Like a board meeting. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, keep in mind, this in part two, it is a table full of all guys, and they made a dick joke and a reference to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We are back on a level that I don't know if we've ever been back at before.
Enemy force detected.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we normally go around the table, say what is the benefit.
Seems pretty simple.
Sure. No, we'll start with you.
Sure.
So actually, a lot of great work at the Treasury this week. One of the crazy things with regards to the Treasury
My
is
hand's
that
itchy,
when
I don't know
payment
why.
is made, and the computers at the Treasury actually pay about $5 trillion per year, like crazy amounts. There was formerly not a budget code on there, so if a payment was made, you didn't know actually what it was for. It could have been for anything.
Yeah.
There was a $4 billion COVID fund in the Department of Education, and there was no receipts required, so people could just draw down on it. And when people looked into it, this wasn't us, this was before us, they found that money was being used to rent out Caesar's Palace for parties, rent out state.
Of course. I couldn't make this shit up. No, it's the federal government.
Museums, etc. And so the one change that Doge made to the Department of Education is we had the simple requirement that if you draw down money, you must first upload a receipt. That was the only change that was made. You must upload your receipt. And upon doing so, nobody drew down any money.
If you take the money, you have to show where it's going. Whoa! Wait a minute. Crazy how that works? That was easy. Damn.
But we didn't say that we'd check the receipt. You could send a fake receipt. You could send a picture of your dog. Anything. Anything.
Just an image file.
And but as soon as you ask for anything at all, suddenly the requests were like, oh, we don't need it anymore. Huh, that's interesting.
They were renting Caesar's
It's
Palace.
not interesting. It's ominous.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Yes, they were like basically partying on the taxpayer money.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Caesar's Palace has to have transactions.
The
They
ship is on
have to have
fire.
received money. It had to have been by a person. They need to check IDs because it's probably a casino. Let's find out who it is. And then we put him in jail. It's simple. Step 1, you figure it out. Step 2, put him in jail. Problem solved. It's easy.
Problem solved, sir.
It's a shell company. It doesn't matter if it's a shell company. A person still has to come into that building. The person that came into that building is probably a government employee.
Ship is on fire.
Or they know a government employee. Figure out who that is. The shell company idea. How long do you think it would take these fucking like these gamers to figure out the shell company thing? How long do you think it would really take them? About 5, 7 to 12 minutes. So shell companies, I know about this. It only makes the process harder to find. It's not like it's impossible. It just takes longer.
He said the stadium. That's a big party.
It's a big party.
You'd think if you were stealing,
That's a
you'd
lot of illegal information.
start small.
They do start small.
They do.
But
50
then
years.
what happens is over the years, so generally the fraud starts out small and they
Yep.
try to hide it. But then year after year, if nobody stops the
Autopilot
fraud,
mode
See, because
enabled.
this is what drug dealers do. I've had so many friends that do this exact thing. They play it safe, they play it clean, they stay inside the boundaries, and then as soon as they start going outside of their box, now they're taking a 3-year vacation.
Enemy battleship
Yep.
detected.
more and more brazen, and every year it gets bigger until they're literally renting out stadiums. Like
What's that, $1 million to rent out
like
a stadium?
That's a lot of money.
Delecto, okay? We're talking at scale.
This is driving me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
When you find these things, do you guys get mad? You're like, yes, I got one. How does it make you
Autopilot
feel?
mode disabled.
It's so common.
I mean, you just get up to it. Like, unfortunately,
People
like,
don't care anymore. It's like, oh wow, we saved another $1 billion. Okay, well, there's another one.
the,
Yep.
like the 100th time you've heard it, you're talking about the moment. You know, like,
How are no arrests happening? See, that's the way I feel about it. I'm very, you know that's the way I feel about it too.
and by the 200th time, you're like, well, okay, it's just another day at the office.
We've got, is the Small Business Administration giving loans to dead people over the age of 120? We actually,
Ship is on
yes,
fire.
and it was around $330 million.
They're 115 years old or older. The oldest living American is 140 years. So it's safe to say if anybody is in the system as 115 years or older, devastated.
So just by sharing a database and looking at social security numbers that showed that at the time of the loan, they had listed as over 115 years old, or actually under 11. We didn't even check for under 18.
Babies and dead
Under 11 years old. That's pretty clear,
babies
right?
and dead people who are getting loans.
That was 600.
So this is the reason why they didn't want computers, because you know how fast it would take to make a computer search function that could do that? About a minute. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's the reason why they don't like computers.
$1 million.
And also people with birthdays in the future.
What does that mean?
Well, in one case, I mean, I think the birth date, I think in one case was like
Fetuses were getting
not even. No, really sort of like you're talking about like your great grandchildren. Like with the birth date, like I think it was like 2165. in the future, like the far future, not like next year. And this is either fraudulent or we have your birthday wrong.
One of either a typo or someone stealing.
Well, it's 2165. That's two wrong numbers. I would understand if it was like 21 and 05, right? And it meant to be 2005. Okay, sure, right? Mistakes happen. 2165. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. You should at least ask which is it.
Do you guys feel you're getting justice and accountability?
One of the, I think, extreme examples of non-accountability in some cases is...
Yeah, no, you're not, because they're not in jail. That's exactly right. No, just tell the truth. No, we're not. How many people have we got? Nobody. Yeah, and they don't want to say that because it's gonna make make everybody sound bad, right? But no.
has occurred at some of the small agencies.
Can you imagine like how upsetting this must be for all of the federal worker Karens that these three frat boys are just all of the federal government, NGO enjoyers, and they're just getting absolutely fucking roached out, man. Yeah, playing a game, getting owned by kids. Yeah. And like these are these same people that like they can't figure out how a smartphone works, and they think that they're gonna figure it out over these guys. No, you're done. You're done, bro. Pack the fuck up.
Occurred as a small agency. I think the Inter-American Foundation visited where they get $50 million a year, congressional money, to give grants. These are things like alpaca farming in Peru, improving the...
That's a real example.
Yes, that's the real description. Improving the marketability.
Alpaca farming in Peru? Where are they? Where are the alpacas? I didn't see any of them. Where the hell are they? They're in Peru? But we can't even see them? Why not? Maybe they don't exist. How much of that money, here's the question, how much of that money do you think is really going to helping alpacas? I would say at best 5% of the money. Go to Peru to see them? I'd love to go to Peru, honestly.
Of peace in Guatemala.
Really?
Wait, what?
Improving the marketability, improving the...
That's a real example.
Yes, that's the real description. Improving the marketability of peas in
The
Guatemala.
marketability of peas in Guatemala? This is like when somebody posts a picture of them getting their PhD, and somebody looks up what their PhD paper was about, and it's about like why dogs fart or something like that, or it's like some social issue. It's like why men don't want to look you in the eyes or something, like just some bullshit.
Guatemala.
Really?
Fruit jam. And yes.
What? Yeah.
So you might expect, in the private sector, a nonprofit to give, 80 to 90% of
Oh,
their
Max.
money to grantees.
Oh man, I'm
In the case of
fucking wiped
IAF,
though.
that was 58%. So the other half goes towards...
How's it going, everybody? How you all doing out there? What's new?
Exactly.
What's good? How's your day been?
So basically, they got this shit locked in where the federal government is paying for a luxury lifestyle.
Max,
for these
chill out.
riches. That's it. Do you think some of this stuff is actually CIA black ops off the book stuff getting the money? No. I think that they probably did discover that, and they're probably not talking about it because they probably got a call. They're like, oh no, yeah, we know this looks like bullshit, but there's actually a reason, we're going to, Donald Trump will tell you and it'll be fine, right? Like, yeah, so there probably are examples of that, but they probably just, they're not talking about those, of course. Yeah, for sure. And like, if I was the government, if I was the CIA, that's what I would do too. Of course.
Example is that even if you agreed with supporting alpaca farmers in Peru, well, actually, most of the money never made it out of DC.
starts. Autopilot mode enabled.
Can you believe that? What?
Let's give them a hard time.
I knew it. So why are we paying taxes? So a bunch of lazy Karens that do nothing can live like they are some sort of pseudo bourgeoisie of the government. That's why. And so they can funnel money to their friends
And fair seas.
and fund luxury lifestyles.
It's going into the pockets of people in the neighborhood.
What
I didn't even
percentage
get to Peru.
Right. So what percentage do you think
Well,
does
whose pocket? How do you know? Why aren't they in jail? Why aren't they being convicted?
Enemy force
If you know what's going into their pocket, that means that you probably pulled their tax files. Where are the charges? Come on. Come on.
doesn't even get to the destination it's supposed to?
I believe the GAO estimates, this is not our estimate, I believe it was on the order of only 10 to 15 cents on the dollar actually gets to the end recipient. Whether you agree with that quote,
Position of a strategic target.
Bro, these alpacas are getting scared. That's insane. Not even, yeah, the Peruvian alpacas aren't even getting the money.
they're not.
So they're just stealing the money before it
Yes.
even gets anywhere.
There's layers of stealing.
Somebody says the
Concentrate fire on
criminal
the
prosecutions are
designated
extremely slow. Speed it up. Figure out why it's slow and make it faster.
Autopilot
Yeah,
mode
I wonder
disabled.
why. You want to know why they're so slow? It's because these people create an apparatus that is so big that it constantly collapses under its own weight, so it simply cannot move. It is designed that way on purpose. Fix the system then.
So there's the first layer of stealing, second layer of stealing, third layer of stealing.
Subcontractor,
You just start peeling the onion.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Contractor, subcontractor, subcontractor. It's like peeling an onion. And then maybe, and sometimes it's zero. Just flat, you get to the bottom of the onion, there's nothing there.
So maybe no one got a sex change in Guatemala.
Torpedoes to port.
How much money did the alpacas get? Nothing.
Hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly.
Sometimes it's just zero. Give me a second. Oh God. Just speed it up? Yeah, this is outrageous, Matt. It's crazy. Okay. This is
Problem
unbelievable.
solved, sir.
What do you mean alpacas? Yeah. What alpacas? Yeah, your palace?
It's possible that no one got a sex change in Guatemala.
I overheard a contractor in a PowerPoint to massive delay in the onboarding process.
This is peak bureaucratic Karen. Like, this is it. Yes. Arrest? Yeah. Put them in jail. You want to make a PowerPoint? No. You're going to jail.
In front of me, and this is like
Autopilot
hour
mode
zero at
enabled.
this agency. And so, I mean, this is just a common theme that you take a look at these contracts, you take a look at these grants, and it's veiled in noble rhetoric. You know, it's at the top level. It's like,
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And then you actually just follow what is the
See,
the
this
fun-
is why I never believed that. Oh, you're shutting down cancer funding research. For sure.
is actually doing.
Well, send us a picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Send us a
Yes,
picture.
we need a proof of life of these alpacas. Show me their coats
Autopilot mode
of fur
disabled.
now versus 6 months ago. I want to see the improvement. Oh, no improvement? Okay, no more money.
That request is requested. Like pictures didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it wouldn't be that hard to just, frankly, they could search for some fake pics on the internet or get AI to generate the pics, but they don't even bother doing that.
So you caught them cold billing fraud.
oh, I caught them for advising or calling because it takes
The reason why they're not doing that is because it shows their hand. They're not going to openly commit fraud. They're going to passively take advantage to. They're not going to break another hole in the wall. They're just going to find a door that's already been left open. Because it's soft fraud. They don't want to commit real hard.
a few days gone. So that is being investigated.
It'd be too easy to figure out.
Generally, like these programs, these grants are going to be like along the lines of Save the Baby Panda. And it's like,
See, there it is. A bunch of populist nonsense. Let's take away the attention of the American people, make them focus on the 0.00% of the U.S. budget that went to alpaca farming, still waiting on Doge clowns to audit the Department of Defense. I think you make a great point. I think you do. But you know what I also think? I think that when you start playing Elden Ring, you don't start with Melania. You start with the Tree Sentinel, you work your way up through Margit, you kill Godric, you know, and you have to level up. The fact is that the last boss, the fucking Shadow of the Earth Tree, Radon, Consort Radon Prime, is the fucking military, okay? They've got to be locked in. Their process has to be locked in. Everything has to be perfect. So this is the rising experience, okay?
of course, we want to save the baby. And you know, in some cases they've got a show panda, which they will trot out for special occasions. In a lot of cases, they don't even have a show panda. Okay.
This is so stupid.
There's not even one panda. Because we asked the victors. And
So they have. Wait.
we don't even get one panda. And it's like, well, you gotta. Well, that's a lot of, you know, what does $1 billion get you? There's not even getting one panda. You really want to see a baby panda? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like, you know, like the Ebola money, we're like, okay, well, we agree with, like, we shouldn't have Ebola, you know. Where is the money going? Oh, it's going to Deloitte in D.C. Like, what is an accounting firm doing with Ebola money?
What has been the biggest resistance? Is there one agency? Is there one department that when you guys walk in, they all start
Ask him.
Autopilot mode.
Look at his head. He knows.
walk in, they all start fighting you, start hiding
We're
things?
gonna talk.
I'm sorry.
But I guess you can answer that question. Sure. I mean, let's
See, Elon did a very, very good strategy. I do this a lot too. We're not going to say the department. Everybody in this room knows the department. But we're going to interrupt this. We're going to make it funny. Let's move on.
We've certainly had some battles.
Yeah.
Battles.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
who should talk about Yusuf?
Nate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's an agency, a small agency called the United States Institute of Peace. It's definitely
They actually let him. They're actually going to let him cook. Oh boy.
the agency we had the most fight at. We actually went into the agency and found that they had loaded guns inside of their headquarters. Institute for Peace.
So the Alpaca Foundation doesn't help alpacas. The COVID Foundation pays for Sears Palace. The Panda Foundation doesn't have any pandas in it. They don't even have a show panda. And the Institute of Peace is full of a bunch of loaded guns. Oh my god. Where is this coming from?
I mean, any given company, any given organizational name is going to be kind of be the opposite of the title.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it was by far the least peaceful agency that we've worked with.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Of course.
Additionally, we found that they were spending money on things like private jets, and they even had a $130,000 contract with a former member of the Taliban. This is real. We don't encounter that at most agencies.
Yeah.
What was
So this was the Institute of Peace had a contract with the Taliban? Huh. That's interesting. Who did that? Because I feel like what we really need them to do is we need them to call in the people that did this, record the interviews with them, and then post the interviews. You are a federal employee. You are accountable to the taxpayer. I am very much a taxpayer, and I want a little bit of accountability for this. I want to see him explain it.
the money going to the Taliban for?
So as a contractor, they received $130,000 for generic
I
services.
thought it was a Twitch streamer.
And to Elon's point, there was not actually a clear description of what the contractor services were for. But
Was it for opium?
Unclear.
Or weapons?
Or
yeah,
nothing.
Or nothing.
Interesting time to interrupt him.
Or abroad?
Or yeah, nothing.
And you naturally have to ask the question, well, how did we get here? Like when the country was founded, there were only 4 agencies.
Now he's making a joke.
Today there are over 400. So there's been a 100x increase in the number of agencies since the founding of the nation. And thanks to President Trump, he's now signed 2 executive orders to start to reduce the number of agencies in the government, and the Institute of Peace was one of them, which is why our team went in to try and understand what was going on. And that's when we
See,
found
this
all
is the kind of stuff that like you'll read on Twitter. Trump would want to get rid of all the wars, but he got rid of the Institute of Peace. Well, what do? They gave money to the Taliban? It's just so fucking... Are these guys geniuses? Yes. Bro, yeah, these guys are smart, but I don't think you even really need to be that smart to figure this out. It's easy. Come on, Asmon, are you pretending? Well, I mean, are you one of the people that believes this stuff? No.
Honestly, guys, I'm pretty fucking tired from today.
Read your comments just for
So I think I'm actually gonna call it early, like really, really early. I'm fucking tired. Y'all have a good night.
Guys,
I'm really tired. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna stream tomorrow or today, technically. Right?
So I want you to just
When I get back from work.
You're making
Oh, and I got my phone case universal lock, so I'm gonna attempt to install it onto my phone.
And this is a
Alright, so have yourselves a great night. If you watched the video, sorry this was short.
I guess I can say this.
Alright,
on hard mode,
good night.
an Asian guy.
Have a good one.
That's